Good morning, everyone. It is a cold December morning. I am in Circle 5 and I'm basically going to be redoing all of it today. So I realized in my sleep last night that when I had filmed the videos about the core gardening method and planting garlic and all that, I kept referring to that circle as Circle 5. It was Circle 4. So let's see. There's the circle, and that one with the bench in it is actually Circle 4. You know. So today we're going to be redoing all of the... I was going to redo the raised beds, but I don't really think I have the capacity to rebuild raised beds right now, / I don't really have the funds to make new raised beds, and these are fine, but as you can see, there's old tomatoes in the tomato cages, weedy. I gotta pull it out, and it needs a significant amount of soil, which we happen to have down the hill. So what I think I'm gonna do is pull it all out. I'll put you guys on that time lapse so you can watch me do that. And then I think I'm gonna probably repair some of the raised beds. A couple of them have like boards falling off. And then we're gonna refill them if they're in good condition. If there's a raised bed that is like really not doing okay, like I had actually pulled out one behind me over here the other day that was just, it was collapsing. So I had made them out of old pallets. Pallets are these big wooden pieces, basically a bunch of pieces of wood nailed together, that big things that get shipped. Like if you were to order a washer and dryer, they would probably bring it to you in a pallet. Or like if you go to any grocery store, all their stuff gets delivered on these big wooden pallets. So someone is giving them away. I made some raised beds, but I'm not necessarily I'm not a carpenter. I did not make the best raised beds out of them, so some of them are falling apart. But we're gonna do our best with what we've got, and I'm happy that you get to come along with me in this wild journey. So along with weeds and like old tomato plants or summer annuals, I am pulling up these, which are gopher baskets. So I plant pretty much everything inside of these, unless the raised bed is like underlined with either chicken wire or gopher wire. And I do this because we have some very hungry gophers in our garden here. And basically, they believe that all of this is planted for them. So it's like a feast whenever we plant something not in a gopher basket. Basically what it is a piece of chicken wire usually. It's a little bit cheaper than gopher wire and it works. I take a piece, I I cut it up into a big square rectangle. I weave the bottom and the side together with just the spiky pieces of wire, and then the top is open, and that's what I plant the actual plant inside of. That way, when the plant has a chance to establish its root system, at least somewhat, before the gophers get there. Now, when I built these raised beds in Circle 4, we underlined them with gopher wire, so I don't have to plant everything in baskets, and because the gophers can't get up through it. When I made these pallet ones, I did not underline them with gopher wire, which was maybe a very foolish move, but here we are. We live and we learn, right? So now everything has to go in these. So I'm pulling up tons of these, just kind of chucking them to the side. And oh my goodness, this is so cute. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this on camera, but inside, see if we can show you. Inside the kale right there, there's a bird and it's just happily living in the kale. Let's see if I can show you. Oh, I hope that got on camera. That was so cute. So I've actually seen this before. The bird hops in there and it's collecting. This is totally off topic, but we love it because this is gardening. And look, can you see the kale has tons of dewdrops on it? Tons, like. So the really cool thing about kale, the surface of kale, is that it's got a, we're gonna get sciencey here for a second. It's got a cuticle membrane, and the cuticle is basically this like waxy substance. It's what kind of helps it stay warm and why this kind of plant can grow in the winter. You'll find it on kale, you'll find it on like basically leafy greens kind of have a little waxy substance on top where you put some water on it and it just like beads off or pools on top like this, which is so cool. And this cuticle waxy layer is hydrophobic, which means hydro means water. Remember we talked about this with the when I was doing the cover cropping and that inoculation powder wasn't mixing in. Bell's going off. Okay. But it's hydrophobic. Hydro means water. Phobic means fear of. Now, the water's not actually scared of this, but it is, it's repelled, right? It doesn't like the surface of this, so it doesn't seep in, right? Whereas if I were to get my beanie wet, if I put water on my beanie, it wouldn't pool in little droplets. My head would get wet through the beanie, right? This just pools the little droplets on that, which I think is just so cool. So the bird comes in. This is kind of like a mini tree. Just was eating the water or drinking the water. So cute. So hopefully you guys were able to see its little movements on camera. All right, back to work. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes and I've cleared 3 of the beds and I'm going to do that core method just like before. I've got this one long raised bed that I'm for sure gonna do a long core, but I have 2 raised beds over there that are deeper than the ones in circle 4. So I might look around, scavenge for some logs. When I first built these 3 years ago, I had popped a kind of rotting log into 2 of them, and for 2 years, so not this past year unfortunately, but for 2 years, we had insane tomatoes in that raised bed. And I think it's because there was just so much decomposing from that log, nutrients coming from it, fungi, which are gonna attach to the roots of the plants. And we're gonna talk so much more about this when I do some videos on fungi, but the fungi help the plants get extra food and nutrients, and I think there was lots of bacteria, good bacteria, that are going to be, making those nutrients available, right? If you remember the nitrogen fixing bacteria from before. So I think if I can go find a log, pop it in there, we're going to have some good tomatoes and whatever else we plant come this summer. My friends, is a big old gopher hole. Reason for those gopher baskets. Last thing I'm gonna do to them today is fill them with dirt, cover all that straw. Then I'm gonna plant the cover crops, then cover the top layer in straw to insulate it and to prevent maybe birds or critters from getting the seeds of the cover crop that I'm planting, and to hold water. So the point of the straw on top of the soil is to prevent it from erosion or to hold water. So we want to prevent the rain from taking the nutrients out of the soil as it collects and runs off. And it's December 8th today, and we don't have, well, when I'm filming this, it's December 8th. You guys are seeing this probably sometime in January or February. But anyways, it's hasn't rained. So we need to hold whatever water we can, especially because we will be moving into, I mean, not right now, but dry summers here are a thing, and we got to hold as much water as possible, and that's why we cover it particularly with that straw. The other thing too is once the straw breaks down, it provides nutrients to the soil, so it's kind of like free fertilizer. All right, I will show you the final product when it's all done, and you'll see a beautiful transformation, hopefully. Here is where we are so far. This has all the soil, all the cover crop seeds and the straw, and then it has been watered. We've got this one done, this big one done. Gonna have to work on this guy over here, but this one is gonna need some structural fixing. This guy has plants, but currently it's storing all my gopher cages. Cages, no, that's not what I mean. Gopher baskets. But you can see it is super low. Like there is a whole foot here of where soil could be. So that's probably gonna be the last one on my list. And then hopefully I'm gonna build another bed over here. This is where the broken one was, but I'm thinking of doing another long one, or maybe a long one this way. Or maybe we'll pop a tree there, because I'm gonna be planting lots of fruit trees in January. So maybe that's a perfect space for a lovely fruit tree. This guy does not need any help. It is just really bumping in here. We've got two big artichokes, and I left these cool artichoke heads with the seed pods up. It's pretty. Just in case you all wanted to check it out. Maybe we'll have artichokes sprouting all over the place, who knows? And lemon balm. But that is circle 5, as I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to end my work in it today because my back is tired from all the wheelbarrowing. I think it was like 10 wheelbarrows just to fill those 3s. So I'm going to take a break. See you next time.